I want to share with you a shocking statistic. 80%. 80% of those who accept Jesus Christ as their Lord and Savior walk away from faithfulness within the first 3 months. That is a known secret within the Christian community around the world. 80% of those who accept Jesus as their Lord and Savior walk away from faithfulness within the first 3 months. And if a new believer is still faithful after 3 months, the chances of them reaching maturity and still being faithful 5 years later goes up exponentially. With First Steps Conversations, we focus on the first 3 months. So important, because if they make it, if they're still faithful after 3 months, then the chances of them reaching maturity goes up exponentially. So let's just talk about the 80%. You might ask, where did you get that statistic? I want to read a quote from Ray Comfort. Ray Comfort, many of you know, is a well-known evangelist, and he writes this: in the late 1970s, I began an itinerant ministry and found that I had access to church growth records. To my horror, I discovered that evangelistic success wasn't what it was cracked up to be. Modern evangelism, from large campaigns to small gospel missions, boasted only a 20% holding rate. And then he concludes, we were creating 80 backsliders for every 100 decisions for Jesus. And I recognize that quote by Ray Comfort was probably 10 or 15 years ago. Recently, I met a man by the name of Ron Braley who just finished his doctoral dissertation at Regent University. And what did he study? Analytic statistics on people who remain faithful after accepting Jesus Christ as their Lord and Savior. So I emailed him, and we had a conversation about this 80% walking away, which means 20% would stay faithful. And my conversation with Ron was, am I right that only 20% stay faithful? And he wrote me back and said, statistics indicated in my dissertation suggest that nearly all people who make a decision fall away soon after, presumably because no one has walked with them in a discipleship rhythm. So I think your 20% could be optimistic. Again, that statistic, 80%. Isn't that shocking? Wow, you know, the church is good at saving the lost, but not good at keeping the saved. And I believe that that can be flipped around. I believe that we can, through proper methods and understanding of discipleship, when we begin to grab hold of the mission of Jesus Christ to go and make disciples, that we can turn the 80% loss rate to an 80% keep rate. Let me tell you this story. I was once talking to a group of 600 pastors. 600 pastors. Now, what you have to understand, very well educated men who were church leaders. And I asked them, if I give you a new believer, knowing what I just told you, that there's an 80% chance that they will walk away, this new believer will walk away from faithfulness within the first 3 months, would you know exactly what to do? Now, of course, being church leaders, they would know something to do. But my question was, would you know exactly what to do if I gave you this new believer in the first 3 months to assure that they would not only make it 3 months, if they make it 3 months, then the chances of them reaching maturity would go up considerably. Would you know exactly what to do within the first 3 months? And I was talking to 600 church leaders, and only 15 of them raised their hand. The 80% walk away from faithfulness within the first 3 months. That is what we focus on with First Steps Conversations. What we can do in that first 3 months to enable a follower of Jesus to stay faithful.